Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today's episode in our series, we're gonna talk spending habits. I want to preface this by saying this is something that I have struggled with my entire life. I am one of those girls that's like, you worked hard for it, buy it for yourself. If I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it. This is a mindset, I think, that just developed over time from when I was a child. Someone that never got taught the importance of discipline and conscious spending, not saving money, but consciously allotting your money. So my 30s have been this revolutionary experience for me. I have been reading 2 to 3 books at a time. They are a lot of self-help books that I have been picking up. The book I'm using today for inspiration is I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I know that this book has been trending a little bit. I'm not sure if it's trending on like the TikTok or anything, but I did hear about this book from multiple YouTubers and I knew I just had to read it. So this video is more of an insight into what you can do to help you be more conscious with your spending. Again, this is something I struggle with, and if I can help any of y'all into your 30s, now is the time. It's now or never, guys. You know, we're running out of time here, and we got to make the most of it. You know what I mean? We got to make the most of our health, our vitality, our finances, especially if we're gonna raise little kiddos, or if we already have little kiddos, to model those conscious behaviors, I believe to be very important. Children can grow up knowing how to properly handle their money. I just think this is a very underrated topic, and finances can be so taboo when we talk about them, but this is stuff that I think we really should be talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe a hot take, but yeah. So let's get into it, guys. We're gonna get into the 10 things you can do to have more conscious spending in your everyday life. So the first thing is don't create a budget. Again, this could be a hot take for many of us because all you ever hear is make a budget, create a budget, cut back here, don't eat. I mean, there's so much information about there on finances. And again, I'm no guru, but creating a conscious spending plan, according to Remit, okay, is going to allow for you to feel more free with your money. As human beings, whenever we try to deprive ourselves of something, what do? Come on, we know, especially as women, we know what we do. We get deprived of food, we end up binge eating. Cutting it out is never the answer, and fitness has taught me that, but I'm also having it bleed into my everyday life. So inherently, we need to create a conscious spending plan. So the spending plan allows you to allot your money into 3 different categories: your fixed utilities or fixed costs, which would involve your utilities, your rent, if you're paying on any debt, etc., which would allot to about 50 to 60% of your take-home pay, not your gross income, 50 to 60% of your take-home pay. And then investments would account for 10% of that. Savings would account 5 to 10% of your take-home pay. And that could be for vacations, for gifts, for holidays, etc. And then guilt-free spending, which is the spending that you spend on yourself for all those things that people may call frivolous, like clothing shopping or spending money on expensive coffee, right? So you actually get 20 to 35% of your take-home pay to have guilt-free spending. I don't know about you guys, but when I compartmentalize this in my brain, it makes it seem so much easier. And I don't feel deprived of my money because I know I get to take 35% of my paycheck and spend that on whatever I want, whatever makes my little heart happy. Number 2 is gonna be to stop buying what they tell you to buy. And I'm talking makeup, skincare, clothing that gets flaunted all over social media, shoes that, you know, as women, we just have to have it, right? We all deal with it. I am envious of you ladies who have that discipline. I literally am that girl that sees that thing, and like I said, if I love it, I need to have it. Like, I need to have the immediate gratification right away. So I think that we need to understand that they have us pegged in a psychological way to purchase what they tell us to purchase. So I was actually talking to a lady at my day job the other day, and she's studying sociology, and they're actually teaching her in her sociology courses about how they have it set up so strategically for us to buy things that we do not need. And having that conversation with her really woke me up. And I was like, they really do that, don't they? They just constantly flaunt this consumerist lifestyle, this keeping up with the Joneses lifestyle. And if you just take a step back from it and see it from a different perspective, not only do you realize how you don't need all these things that they tell you that you need, you actually need a quarter, if that. Inherently, we could survive without any of the stuff that they offer us. Think back to the olden days, but anywho, that aside, you know, there's just so much pressure. Number 3 is going to be to spend on what you love. What do you love? Sit down, think about it. Think about what you really, really, really love, right? Now, if you could eliminate all the other little areas that you just impulsively buy things or spur of the moment purchase something, and really sit down and think about what you would actually love to be buying and not just buying what they're telling you to buy, you would realize that the majority of the things you may have or may want are things that will not bring you any fulfillment or satisfaction, and you may not even use them, or it may just be a fad, right? Keeping up with the Joneses, getting that one up, having that best product or that best house or that best car. You know, it's just so flaunted, and we need to understand that we only need to purchase the things that we love, and we can cut costs everywhere else. If you love clothes, use that guilt-free spending in your conscious spending plan, that guilt-free bucket to purchase the clothes that you want. If you love vacations, if you love gifting, use that bucket to allow yourself to only purchase the things that bring you true joy. Again, something that I just think is so overlooked, and something that I have overlooked for the past 30 years of my own life, the pressures in society and the fact that if you just see it from a different lens, you don't want or need the things that you think you actually do. So again, I may repeat myself a couple times in this video, guys, but it kind of all loops back to the fact that conscious spending is you not only having discipline for your finances, you can't do it without the discipline, but also seeing that it's really a facade for you as the consumer to purchase more. Number 4 is to invest your money. Obviously, this is in the buckets of the conscious spending plan. However, investing your money is really what's gonna allow you to gain some passive income. And by investments, I mean Roth IRAs, I mean brokerage accounts, I mean high interest yielded savings accounts. Spreading your money out into multiple buckets also allows you to not think about the money that you're putting away. If you have a savings account that's connected to your general bank account, you know, yes, that counts as a form of investing for yourself, right? We all need some sort of savings or cushion, but you know, you are gonna probably be more inclined to spend that money because you see it and you know that it's there all the time. So spreading your money out into different investment accounts that will bring you some sort of interest yield is really gonna help you feel more confident in knowing that you have your finances handled, and you're also going to be able to spend that 20 to 35% of your guilt-free spending so much more seamlessly. Number 5 is going to be utilize the a la carte method. So again, this is something that Ramit talks about in this book, but the a la carte method essentially allows you to cut your spending out by tricking your brain. I want to call it tricking your brain. I guess it kind of is. So essentially, you cancel all your subscriptions, your Netflix subscription, your gym membership, etc., etc. And when you do that, you kind of realize what you're actually using and what you're not using. And you can build those subscriptions or those bills, utilities back up in your own way, and maybe potentially even negotiate some prices. This is a tactic that I think that you can use to build a better conscious spending plan, because while you're building that spending plan, you can also save yourself a few dollars by realizing, hey, I may not actually use A, B, and C as much as I thought I did, or I may not actually need A, B, and C as much as I thought I did. 6 is going to be to negotiate prices. This one I'm going to keep short and sweet. The price of things is not always the price of things, guys. And this is also something I learned from reading this book, Phenomenal. You think about it, and sometimes in certain scenarios we may negotiate pricing, but a lot of the time, unless you're buying clothes, of course, in like a retail mall or a retail store, you can actually negotiate your own prices of things. I mean, that could be for your water bill, your electric bill, if you're buying a car, like those types of things, there's still negotiation. I think this is also something that is not talked about often enough. Negotiate your pricing. Try to get the best deal. Don't give up. Don't be a people pleaser. I wish someone would have told me this years ago, because unfortunately I am a people pleaser, and the last thing I would want to do is try and negotiate a price. Especially as someone who values like services such as personal training, etc., but not to throw those people under the bus, because I technically am one of them. You can negotiate pricing. Take that with a grain of salt, but use it wisely. Number 7 is going to be to not let anybody push you around when you guilt-free spend. So there may be people in your life or people who have unwanted opinions that you spending your 20 to 35% of your guilt-free bucket on a $300 pair of jeans is bad, right? Oh, you could invest that money elsewhere. You could put that money here. You could put that money there. You're being foolish. Those, I want to say, almost criticizing words and judgmental words may cause you to think, hey, well, I'm doing this the wrong way. I need to save all my money. I shouldn't be spending on these things. Frivolous, Some people aren't as easily persuaded, but others, that may affect them. And I think we need to realize that if we're saving and investing our money and we want to take our guilt-free spending bucket and buy a $300 pair of jeans, who is anyone to tell us that that is wrong? You need those things that make you happy, and you need those things that may feel frivolous. That's part of being human, and that's part of keeping ourselves happy. It's when we step out of moderation and we overindulge and we overspend, and we're spending 60-70% of our paycheck on multiple pairs of $300 jeans, and that's when it can become detrimental, right? So I just think we need to shut off all the noise and do what makes us the happiest. Number 8 is to stop feeling guilty about spending your money. So kind of playing into the last one, don't let anybody tell you how to spend your money or how to invest. Obviously, unless that person is full of wisdom and helping you, right? Don't let anybody tell you how to spend your money, and don't let anybody make you feel guilty about how you spend your money. If it's making you happy and you have a life set up for yourself and your family, don't feel guilty. Don't. Just take care of yourself and take care of your family, and prioritize, again, what makes you the most happy and you the most peaceful. Is to go for big wins. This is another one that I got from this book. So going for big wins means cut back consciously. This is all about conscious spending, right? So let's say you need more than what you had factored in for your guilt-free spending, right? Let's say you've taken a look at your finances over the past month and you're like, wow, I really like to spend on this, but 20 to 35% isn't going to make me the happiest, right? So there is a way around this. So you can take your 3 biggest expenses, line them up, and try to cut back wherever you can. And you can pour that into your guilt-free spending bucket, so that way it gets bigger and you don't just overspend in other buckets where you really shouldn't be, which would then cause guilt spending, right? Never purchase anything you cannot afford. This is coming from the queen herself, by the way, just so y'all know. I love to purchase things I can't afford. So don't go into debt for a pair of shoes. Don't go into debt for that brand new car that is charging you 5% interest and you just needed it because you can show it off and you're super cool. Again, I'm calling myself out here. I do believe that stems from some sort of insecurities within all of us, just being very, very straightforward, and also the pressures that are put on us by society. You know, obviously we have to take accountability for our own actions, but society does constantly wave it in our face, which makes it very difficult to not do those things and of course not want those things, but then work towards those things where you don't have to get yourself into debt for it. Like, there's nothing wrong with having those nice things, but have those nice things when you've worked hard enough to be able to afford them. Getting yourself into debt is never the answer, and this is also coming from someone who is in very much debt and is working her way out of it. Lean on those around you. So we all have a support system. At least I really truly hope we all have some sort of support system. And we need to communicate and ask for help from those around us. Again, this may be another common sense tip, but especially if we're engaged or married or even in a serious relationship, you know, being open about our finances is another very underrated topic. And sometimes there's trust involved there. This could be a really, really, really controversial topic, so I don't want to get too far into it. Communicate your finances to those that may be able to help you before it gets too bad, or before, you know, you create yourself a mess that you didn't ask for. So again, communicating your finances effectively can really help you get out of a funk or better understand why you may be in the funk you're in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you can leave any comments below if there's more you would like to see in this series. Again, this is just a wisdom series for you guys, and I'm having really fun. And I'm having a lot of fun going through this with y'all. Thank you guys again for watching this video, and I really appreciate that you're here with me. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.